And now for something completely different.
Where'd my water go? The one I was just drinking.
I don't know.
Oh, here.
I don't have a water. I'm not good enough.
Do you want a water?
No, I'm good.
We're about to do a whole podcast. Are you sure?
I know.
I can. It's not too late.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start the podcast.
I think we already started. And I'm Lightning.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cinematic Relief. And I'm Thunder.
Oh, we already started. I'm
No,
not saying it again.
No, I know. That's
Okay.
why that's why I said and. Welcome to Cinematic Relief, our movie podcast. Video games, get out of here. Fuck off, video games.
No. Get out. There was
It
one
won't
left.
leave. Mario, I swear to. Okay. Today, very special episode. We're going to be talking about. I mean, you most assuredly already saw the title, but we're going to be talking about our favorite movies of all time.
Yay.
We took a long, difficult time putting a list together of our top 10 favorite movies.
And it's going to change. If you ask me tomorrow, it's going to be different.
Yeah, no, same with me. So allow me to start.
Okay.
Because I have,
We're going to go backwards, 10-1.
yes, of course.
And
yeah.
we'll just letting them know.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I know you and I know how
Yeah.
we're doing this. And we're going to each say our 10 and then go from there.
So I wanted to go first because I actually want you to go first, but I have a couple runner-up films that didn't make it.
Oh, well, you
Because-
didn't tell me we could have that as a category.
Well, because I don't necessarily. It's the only reason they're there is because those are movies that used to be on the list, but have since been dropped down because other movies have come out. And I'm not going to talk about it for too long because they're not really on the list. But they are the Lego Batman movie
Okay.
and the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So you, Chris, you know that I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So for that to not even make the list,
There's got to be some big ones.
there's got to be, yeah. But yeah, those movies are great. I think did you say that you saw the Lego movie and you didn't like Will Arnett's Batman character?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole movie about him.
Yeah, I
But
know.
it's
I know.
It's actually really good. I really like it. They somehow convinced Michael Cera to play Robin, which was cool. The guy that played Scott Pilgrim.
I know who Michael Cera is.
Okay, sorry, you're bad with names. Sometimes
I know who he is.
you forgot it. You forgot Paul Rudd's name the other day. That one really shocked me. I was like, really? But
Yeah.
yeah. So what's your number 10?
My number 10. Rocky 2.
Rocky 2.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The rematch.
Yes.
With Apollo Creed.
Yes. Spoiler alert
Oh,
for
yeah,
this
sorry.
35-year-old movie.
Sorry, all the movies we're about to say spoilers for all of them.
Yeah.
Some of these movies came out within the last couple years.
Yeah,
so-
that was if you wanted to see it, you should have seen it by now. It's been out for a long time.
I mean, Rocky 2. Yeah. It's a good one.
It's an excellent one. It's the first one he wins in. It's
Yeah.
very emotional.
Yeah.
It really develops all the characters.
Yeah.
And I suspect it's on your list.
It is not.
Ooh, that was the one I was certain would
It's
be on
not
your
on my list. No, you forget. My favorite Rocky movie is Rocky 3.
True.
But 2 is one is a little meh.
We've talked about this a lot before, but it was a low budgeted movie that
Yeah.
did very well with a twist ending
And
that
they
nobody
didn't-
was expecting.
Well, that's my biggest complaint about Rocky 1. They didn't stick the dismount.
Yeah.
For all intents
Well,
and purposes, they made a sports movie, and then the last act was a match of the sport, and it wasn't.
But you got to remember, this was way before Rocky invented the climatic sport ending to a movie.
Not with its first one, though.
Not with its sport. No, absolutely. We watched the evolution of how they got better at it. But you kind of can't blame them for not doing something that they hadn't invented yet. I still, if you've seen a Rocky movie, know how it's supposed to end. Watch one out of order, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
clearly worst ending.
That's why I appreciated 2 so much, because I love it.
Yeah.
Also, I love it when movies like Rocky 2, the first scene takes place seconds after
Yeah.
the last scene of Rocky 1. It's
Yeah.
literally like, I know it's kind of dumb to say this.
Well, actually, it starts with the ending of Rocky 1.
Right. They do it again, and they kind of do it a little better.
Yeah.
But It's kind of silly to say it like this because it's literally called Rocky 2, but Rocky 2 is literally just Rocky 1 Part 2.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
No, absolutely.
Cool. My number 10 is a little movie that I don't think you've actually seen
Okay.
called Pacific Rim.
Oh, I've seen Atlantic Rim.
Oh, the shitty.
Yeah, I
like-
watched it on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, okay. But you haven't seen Pacific Rim?
No.
I
I might have. I can't remember.
Here's the thing with Pacific Rim. A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
I love that film, and I feel like you have to take it at face value. Pacific Rim knows what it is. It knows its audience. If you sit down to watch Pacific Rim and you think you're going to get like a prolific, like good backstory, intense characters, like character drama, you're mistaken. It's basically just the reason that like Transformers 1 and 2 are movies that I watch over and over again. It's just like action movie, big monsters, eye candy. And it's the best one. Like,
all right. It's not my cup of tea, but I'll respect that you appreciate it.
Yeah, and I haven't seen Pacific Rim Uprising. I don't think I'm ever gonna, because it's not even made by the same dude. Guillermo del Toro made Pacific Rim. He didn't make the second one. It's like completely a departure from. I thought I read somewhere that Guillermo del Toro had like plans for sequels, but no, I like it. A lot of good performances. Charlie Day is in that movie. It's the first movie I say Idris Elba in. He's definitely the best part of the film.
That's his first movie?
Who?
I can never say his name
Idris
right.
Elba?
Yeah.
No, the first one I saw him in.
Oh, okay.
And Ron Perlman gives a great performance in that movie. The guy who played Hellboy and Slade on Teen Titans. But yeah, that's my number 10. Pacific
Cool.
Rim.
Number
Chris is
9.
number
nine.
nine.
I'm going to say till I get my phone open here. 9. E.T. The
Interesting.
Extraterrestrial.
You and I have never talked about this film together.
Yeah, I don't think so. Fantastic movie and music. My boy John Williams does
Right.
the soundtrack.
I mean the
Johnny Baby, as he
the-
likes to be referred to.
E.T.'s a Spielberg film, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the combination of John Williams and Steven Spielberg, you really can't
No,
go
can't
wrong.
beat it. Except if you're Star Wars and you're George Lucas and John Williams.
So, I've only seen E.T. just the once.
Are you serious?
When I was a kid, yeah. Here's my takeaway from E.T. Act 1 and Act 2, great. Act 3 gets a little weird, where he's like connected to the boy and they're like both dying and...
Well, he has psychic powers.
No, I know, but as a kid, I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I feel like I feel like this is a movie that I would give another chance as an adult.
Yeah, I mean, see, for me, as a kid and as an adult, without exaggeration, I've probably seen this movie upwards of 60 times.
Jesus.
I like this movie. Total ripoff of Mac and Me. Just kidding. Mac and Me. Go watch it.
No, but do go watch the new Mystery
So-
Science
Yes,
Theater
no,
3000
honestly,
video on Mac and Me.
that's the only time I've ever seen Mac and Me. I keep clipping. I don't know what the deal is with that. We'll see how it sounds. This is going to be kind of weird for the band, and this actually might be the case for the next album cover. I really want to push this aesthetic on us.
Okay.
I love a foresty at twilight time of day aesthetic.
Okay.
Just starting, sun's just going down, getting the fire going. You can see the trees are almost black, like that. You can just see the outlines.
Yeah.
I love that aesthetic, and you're gonna see that as that's a reoccurring theme
In E.T.?
in my movies,
Oh,
in my
in
movie
all of
list.
your movies. Okay.
Not all of them, but it's definitely gonna pop up again. And this is one of the movies I think I owe my love of that aesthetic for.
Oh, okay.
Because this movie just gives me that, almost kind of like Stranger Things, gives me the same feeling. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, it makes you feel small. Like,
okay.
I don't know how to put it. Small town forest everywhere.
Small as in like you realize you were like come to terms with the fact that the Earth is huge and you're a little.
Yeah.
And
like,
I get that.
I don't know. It's just it's funny because E.T. I'm pretty sure is just supposed to be straight up like big town California, but in the 80s, so it's not that big.
Yeah.
But still, it gives me that like. I don't know. There's some sort. It's kind of
no,
like
there's definitely like
Earthbound's giving me the same feeling.
Yeah, there's definitely like Earthbound, like X-Files thing, like vibes.
But in like the old country
Yeah.
vibe, I don't know. Just that whole aesthetic, I go nuts for it. It's my weak spot. It could be a piece of crap, and I'm like, oh, but it gave me that feeling. I just love the movie. There's a really cute story. I mean, there's a ton of them about the making of this movie.
Okay.
You know the scene where E.T.'s dressed up as a girl?
Yeah.
So there's a little boy who, I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what happened. He didn't have legs.
Okay.
He was amputated. He plays E.T.
Oh.
He's in the I'm pretty sure. Please understand that it could have just been a regular boy. I'm pretty sure he had amputated legs.
Okay.
You can look that up if you want. Don't take my complete word for it.
Okay.
But he was very self-conscious about being dressed up as a girl, even though he's in the E.T. costume.
Okay.
The day they shot that scene was Halloween. Steven Spielberg came in dressed up as a woman so that the kid wouldn't feel
cool.
self-conscious about it. So he's
cool.
behind the camera dressed as a woman directing the scene.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my number 9.
My number 9 is
E.T. Number 2, Aliens 1.
I think you've seen all of these movies except my number 10 and my number 9.
Okay.
My number 9 is Pokemon the movie Lucario and the Mystery of Mew.
Don't remember it, but I've seen it.
Listen.
Okay.
I know that obviously there's Pokemon the first movie, and then there's Pokemon the second and third movie, and then there's all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And there's like 20 of them. Lucario and the Mystery of Mew is the 8th one. I'm not here to say that Lucario and the Mystery of Mew is a better movie than Mewtwo Strikes Back, but I'm here to say that it's my favorite one. It's like,
in a major way?
yeah. It nails like everything I want from a quote unquote shitty made for TV movie Pokemon movie.
Okay.
Like, they do a good job of introducing you to the personality of all the characters, just in case you're not watching
familiar
the show.
Yeah.
And then after they do that, there's like a tournament that Ash takes place in where it's like you're in the tournament, but you also have to cosplay. So he's cosplay as the hero that owned the Lucario that you meet later in the movie.
Oh, wow.
And that's where they play the theme song, not the Pokemon theme song that we all know, but the Pokemon Advanced Battle theme song that's running in like the 11th season or whatever at the time this movie came out. And it's like really cool. It did the thing that the first Pokemon movie did where it showed a Pokemon we've never seen before with Weavile. And then the whole tournament takes place in that song and Ash wins it. So the whole tournament is like basically off camera, like with no volume because you're listening to the song. And then the rest of the movie like happens. There's a spy woman who Brock is like, oh, I'm being Brock about you. But then he realizes that she's like a famous spy, and he's like, oh my god, I know who you are. And she joins them on the adventure. Team Rocket is not the villain in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a giant tree, and this giant tree is where Mew lives. And Mew is like, for all intents and purposes, kidnapped Pikachu and Meowth. So Ash and Lucario, because they have like a psychic link or whatever the fuck, they go to the tree with all their friends, and then the tree has like an immune system that like starts to like intruder alert, and it sends its defenses against them, and its defenses are Regice, Regirock, and Registeel.
Oh, Jesus.
So not only are they fighting that, but the tree also has like this goop, and basically it just like boom, boom, and you're gone. And it just like takes Misty, it takes May, and it takes Brock, and it takes Team Rocket. There's this one scene, I always cry, I'm such a dumb baby, where James, the villain of Pokemon, he is being sucked up, he's being quote unquote killed by this goop, and he reaches for his Pokemon, and he says, "Save yourself," and he opens all his Pokemon, and then he
Oh,
gets
wow.
killed, and all his Pokemon are just like, James, what do we do now? Basically, the whole theming of the movie is like, Lucario is like, my trainer abandoned me. Trainers hate Pokemon. They just use them, and through hanging out with Ash and Ash being like, I have to save Pikachu. I love Pikachu so much. They like learn to like come to an agreement of like, no, trainers are pretty good. Like, they're not all bad. Some of them are like Ash.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Cool.
I don't really have anything else to say about it beyond that. But he wrote a review, and that was too high.
Yeah.
He wrote a review,
Okay.
and then he wrote some more, and then he wrote too many. It's Roger Ebert Reviews. Welcome to Roger Ebert's Critic
I was
Corner,
wondering
a
if we were
podcast
gonna
within
get
a
it.
podcast. I'm your host, Anthony. Joining me today is my very special guest, Lightning, from the Thunder and Lightning Let's Play. There are times here on the Movie Beat when I feel like I'm in plane over my head, and this is one of those times. My assignment is to review Pokemon the first movie. I have done research. I've even played a Pokemon game with a 6-year-old Pokemon trainer named Emil. Emil. The rules of the game seem to bear a suspicious resemblance to war. Fucking hold the phone. No, it does not.
Oh wait, this is this one? This is the card game one?
This is Roger Ebert's review for Pokemon the first movie.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, I didn't even realize.
I thought you'd recognize it. Yeah, he gave it 2 out of 4 stars.
Oh, this is my favorite one.
If you have never played Pokemon the trading card game, it plays very similarly to Magic the Gathering. Does not play like War at all.
No.
Um.
I was like, I know he's said this before. I didn't realize it was the
Yeah.
one.
At the end of the game, Emil had all 52 cards. Once again,
can we
Pokemon
stop for a
deck
second?
Has 60 cards in it.
Yep.
I do not know if this is because of his mastery as a trainer or because he stacked the deck. I do not. I do know we were not playing a real Pokemon game. Emil was pulling a fast one.
Why even mention it
By the way,
at that
I'm gonna-
point?
Yeah. First of all, why mention that? Why bring that up? He says he does research, and then the only research he talks about doing is playing this card game that he is convinced was not accurate. By the way, I didn't say this. I'm just going to read this whole thing because
That's fine.
It's a work of art. The easiest way to understand Pokemon is as a major factor in the U.S.-Japanese balance of trade. It began as a Nintendo Game Boy game, true, and has since proliferated into spin-offs, clones, ancillary rights, books, videos, TV shows, toys, trading cards, and now this movie. All of this, even though nobody over 12 seems able to explain the Pokemon universe coherently. That was the full sentence. All of this, blah, blah. In the online magazine Salon, for example, Cynthia Joyce interviewed a 10-year-old named Sean Levine who loves Pokemon. Cynthia says, "Can you explain to me in simple terms what the game is about?" Sean says, "Well, it's not just a game, it's a whole world. There's TV shows, comic books, little figures, and card game. But my favorite is probably the Game Boy game and the card game. The goal is to get all 151 types of Pokemon. That's the red and blue version. In the new versions, there's 250 types of little creatures.
Ooh.
I like collecting the cards. I have the red version and the blue version, so I can get all the Pokemon I need." The fucking Pokemon elitist, this little kid. Some Pokemon cards are actually worth a lot. For example, if you have... Oh my god, I've never read this part. If you have a first edition Charizard, you can sell it for over $99.
Wow, that's going for $500
It's going for
right
like
now.
$700 right now. End quote. The interview is longer, but no more helpful. Is there even a game at all in the sense of Monopoly? Sean cleverly deflects...
Wait, does he mean is there a board game? Is that what he's referring to?
I don't know. I
Or
think
like they have a monopoly on the card game?
No, it's capital M. I think he means like, is there even a game, or do you just... I think he's just still confused about video games. Sean cleverly deflects the question into a description of the Pokemon Empire and how much money you can make as a Pokemon tycoon. I used to collect baseball cards. This is still Roger Ebert.
Oh, those play like war.
I used to collect baseball cards, but at least there was a game called baseball.
Was
which
there? Hold
existed
on.
apart from the cards.
But right. The cards are meaningless.
Right, yeah, those are literally just
So he's crapping on
collectibles.
kids for collecting Pokemon cards, but baseball cards, now those are fine. Those are useless. At least there's a card game to Pokemon cards.
You don't, quote-unquote, play Pokemon in any sense that involves running around or catching anything or scoring runs or getting dirty.
You don't do that in poker either, but you play poker.
It sounds more like early training for commodities brokers. Not sure what the fuck that means. Here's where Roger Ebert goes off the fucking rails. Here is the movie, the plot. A scientist has found a way to genetically clone one of the Pokemons. Pokemon? Named Mew. His invention is named Mewtwo. Mewtwo then clones other Pokemons on his own, sort of a revolt of the Poke. Each Pokemon has a different kind of power. The hero, Ash Ketchum, so called because he wants to catch them all and have a complete set of Pokemons, ventures with his friends to the villain's island where battles take place between lots of different kinds of Pokemons, Pokemon, and their clones. So basically, he wastes the entire plot synopsis just kind of arguing with himself about how to pluralize the word Pokemon.
Jesus.
After an hour of struggle that shakes the very firmament, the Pokemon collapse. They run down instead of dying. There are a lot of speeches about how we now see that fighting is wrong. There will be a sequel in which, no doubt, there will be another hour of fighting before the same lesson is learned again. Buckle up.
Yeah, here we go.
The animation is bright, colorful, and vibrant. It's eye candy. The story seems very thin, especially compared with such other Japanese anime titles as My Neighbor Totoro. The story is idiotic. The individual Pokemon have personalities that make the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look like Billy Crystal. They wrote it right. Oh, they didn't fix it. I just read it right.
Oh, thank God. Good. Leave it in there, please, for all time.
Here's how it's read. My eyes couldn't see it the wrong way. The individual Pokemon have personalities that make the Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles look like Billy Crystal, which is...
Please tell us in the comments what you think that could possibly mean.
Forget the typo for a second. What the fuck is he trying to say?
But also, he screwed it up. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's weird that it sounds right both ways when
you
say
it
it
is.
quick enough.
Well, I mean, that is his genius. Anyways, keep going.
Kids will no doubt love this movie because they can see action involving figures they've collected. I can't recommend the film or work up much enthusiasm for it because there's no level at which it enriches a young viewer by encouraging thinking
How
or
would you
observation.
know, you 90-year-old man?
It's just a sound and light show linked to a marketing push for Pokemon in general. But I may have completely bypassed the point and misinterpreted crucial Pokemon lore. This may disqualify me from ever becoming a Pokemon trainer. I can live with that. Finn. End of review.
He makes me so mad. He really does. That's the worst one, by the way.
It's definitely the most entertaining one. It's the one that showcases something that I want to talk about EB the most, where just don't review every movie. There's a Pokemon movie. I'm Roger Ebert. There's a Pokemon movie coming out.
I'm 100 years old.
I'm 150 years old. I think I'll skip it.
Yeah.
I think
we're probably going to say this every time we talk about him, but nobody asked him to review that movie.
No, that's the point that's what the segment would be called if it wasn't called Roger Ebert's Critic Corner. It would be called Nobody Asked You to Review This Movie.
Maybe a better title.
But yeah, that was that. Back to the list.
Oh, God.
Chris's number 8.
I'm just so furious. Number 8, Infinity War.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting that it's that far down, or
Yes.
interesting that it made the list for me?
Interesting that it's that far down. So we forgot to mention this. Infinity War is on my list also. Therefore, I'm just going to say what it is on my list, and I'm going to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
And then when we get to mine, I'm going to skip it. Infinity War is number 3 on my list. I fucking love that movie.
No, I do too.
I know it's your thing, but if I may start.
No, go ahead.
I've watched that movie.
You can have it. I mean, you'll probably explain it better than I could.
I've watched that movie maybe 8 times. And each time, and some of those times were a day after the last time I watched it. I haven't watched it in a while. Maybe I'll watch it tonight after this conversation. But it's like Infinity War. This is why I appreciate Infinity War so much. It was set up to fail. The Russo brothers said, we have 85 superheroes. We're going to put them all in one movie, and you're going to love it, and you're going to love it, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be super long. You're going to watch the whole thing a bunch of times, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be great. This movie does a couple things that I personally feel like superhero movies have never attempted as far as films go.
Okay.
So, like, one, there's 86 billion main characters.
Yeah.
And they all have their own discrete, super awesome superpowers.
I'm with you. Yeah. It's amazing.
Beyond that, the actual main character is the villain.
Yeah.
Thanos is the main character if that movie is to have one. Like, I'd see an argument for Iron Man or, Star-Lord. Thor, yeah. But Thanos is the main character, but he's also the villain. So the person you're rooting for is the villain, even if you don't realize it. And then he wins.
Yeah.
Not only does the villain win, the main character wins because Thanos is the main character and the villain.
I don't know if I'd say I root for him, but like...
Well, no,
yeah.
I'm saying like subconsciously. Like you're learning more about his backstory throughout the whole movie. And like without even thinking about it, I feel like you're watching the movie and you're just like, yeah, he's right. He's the main character, you know?
Yeah, okay.
And then he wins in like the worst way possible. And he kills all the superheroes. Another first. How they were like, all the superheroes that are all pretty much indestructible and like only one of them ever died and he got resurrected and it was total bullshit. They're all dead. End of movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think they did this on purpose, but like for years leading up to that movie, there was like talk and articles about like, is this a two-parter or is this a one-parter?
Yeah.
And I feel like they did that confusion on purpose because I got to the end of the movie and I was like, oh my God, it's a two-parter.
Yeah.
Even if it's not called Infinity War Part 2, this story's not over.
Yeah.
They have to fix this or else. Imagine a world where in Endgame they don't fix it and this is just the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. Like,
it just never ends.
It's just going to be boring or like...
Yeah.
It's going to be like what like all the movies are like Spider-Man Far From Home is like what if he was still alive.
Right.
That
by the way, I haven't done the math out yet, but like this is probably going to come up like a week before Endgame comes out, which is pretty cool.
I'm not sure about that.
No,
because we
Okay.
still have Captain Marvel to. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But anyways, a Marvel thing will be there before the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I kind of took the stage. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean you were pretty spot on. That you got to the points that I wanted to get to was they did some amazing things no other movie's done before.
I mean, no other superhero movie for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean I'd branch out to say no other movie. I can't think of any blockbuster hit that's ever had that big of an ensemble where they were all main characters in their own movie at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, not. I mean, unless
Shrek, maybe Shrek.
Unless you count like the bit characters, like I always forget her name, but the general in charge of Black Panther's army and like Rocket Raccoon and characters like that, like characters that are part of a group. Other than that, like every character is a character that like has had their own movie.
Yeah.
Like even Scarlet Witch, I would consider Civil War like kind of her movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
it was hers and Silver Bullets, definitely.
Silver Bullet?
Oh no, what's his name? Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, there you go. Silver Bullets would be maybe a better name.
Yeah.
Because Quicksilver is like a liquid metal. Anyways, yeah, that film impressed the hell out of me.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, my number 3, your number 8.
Yes.
Yes. My number 8, continuing the conversation we were just having, my number 8 is Captain America Civil War.
Oh, interesting.
That movie did it first. Like here's the one flaw with that movie. It's called Captain America Civil War.
Instead of Avengers
Civil War. But like, that was the first one. We were talking about this earlier with that interview with the Russo brothers. That was the first one that it was like, hey, there's like 60 superheroes.
Yeah.
And most of them are in this movie.
Yeah.
And you're going to like it.
Yeah, that is the one. They even introduced Spider-Man.
Yeah. That was the one that like, it wasn't the one that brought in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was Infinity War. But it was
Right.
like, it was the one that brought in Ant-Man.
Earth superhero at the time, except for
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel and Hawkeye. Or was Hawkeye in
Hawkeye's
Civil
in
War?
Civil War.
He is. Okay. Yeah. You know what? No, I keep that statement true because, I mean, spoiler alert, Captain Marvel's not on Earth when that movie takes place.
Neither is Hulk.
Neither is Hulk. Right.
Yeah.
You
still are correct, yeah.
Every
yeah.
Earth superhero is in
They
Civil
also,
War.
I don't know if you forget this because
Except-
I always forget this.
I was going to say except Black Panther,
I
but
was
no,
just gonna say
he
they
is in
introduced-
that movie.
They also introduced Black Panther in that film too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I alluded to it when I was talking about Scarlet Witch, but like that's the one thing that Civil War has going for it that I think it did really well. That Infinity War obviously expanded upon, but like I could see an argument for any one of those characters to be like, no, that was a movie all about them. Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, fucking Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Spider-Man, like all of them like have their moment where it's like, shit, this is a fucking Captain America movie. And then you're sitting there like, no, dude, I'm watching an Iron Man movie. And it's the first and hopefully last time that the superheroes that, if you've been keeping up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which these movies assume you have, are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Where it's literally Marvel versus Capcom, where it's like, how would Hawkeye and Black Widow fight each other? What if Captain America was up against Spider-Man?
Right.
Like, that's...
He kind of gets wrecked right off the
Yeah,
bat.
he does. Yeah. And like, yeah. And also, Giant Man. Giant Man is awesome.
Giant Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's big, he's called Giant Man.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
In the comic books, at least.
That's funny.
But yeah. Yeah.
Did they do the Spider-Man movie?
Sorry? No, the Russo brothers have just done Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and what's it called? Endgame.
Okay, because I absolutely love how they opened Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh my
Not one of the
God,
movies we're
yeah.
talking about, but it's just Civil War again.
Yeah.
And it's that whole fight scene, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's next is your number 7.
All right, here we go. Number 7. Okay. You got a friend in me, Toy Story.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you brought a couple kids movies. That's
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Oh, no, it's my turn. No, shut up.
Yeah.
Just to get into, film history, it was the first full CGI movie,
I mean, yeah, it was.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing.
And it looked great.
And it looked fantastic.
It looked-
Still kind of holds today.
I was just going to say, not only did it look great at the time, it looks great today.
Amazing concept, out-of-the-box concept, almost never happened, for the record. I watched a whole documentary on how they made this
the
movie.
Toy Story the movie being made almost didn't
Yeah.
happen? I thought you meant toys never came to life in real life. I was like, yeah, I know. What are you talking about?
Well, some of us might know more than others, but anyways.
Oh, no.
I was just kidding. The scripts were awful,
Chris, are you a
apparently.
stonemason?
What?
You legally have to tell me.
First of all, no, you don't. You don't tell anybody that crap.
You fucker, you know where the Holy Grail is, and you're sitting here on your ass talking about Toy
I've been
Story.
drinking out of it this whole time.
No!
Eternal
Life has been at the tip of my fingertips, I think.
Not according to one of the other movies on my list, anyways.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, right?
Oh, we're going to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Tides?
No.
Okay.
Um,
Good.
The scripts were awful. They just kept getting Woody was an absolute jerk the
Oh,
whole movie, and
then
they
they
just-
brought in Joss Whedon.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it was just an incredible story. Forget all that though. Like this was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Oh, yeah,
It's an
beyond the
amazing
behind the scenes
story
shit,
that
it's a
ended-
great movie.
Yeah. It was just phenomenal. It's still a great story. If Toy Story's on TV, I'm watching it.
Mm.
Any of them, for that matter.
So, question, maybe this is on your list, but I don't think it is. What is your opinion on Toy Story 2?
I loved it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't as good.
Right.
I'll be honest. And 3 wasn't as good. And
I like 3 a lot better than 2.
sure,
Not 1,
sure.
though.
I see, when 3 came out, I was at that age. I wasn't really watching them anymore. I still appreciated it and watched it, but I think I can only say I've seen that movie maybe twice.
Oh, well, me too. But I did go to I was really excited to see it. I went to
Yeah.
the theaters to see it.
I think I saw it at home, but it was good.
Yeah.
It's just it was a fantastic movie. Great
Yeah.
cast. Don Rickles is in that.
Who again? Which
Don
one is-
Rickles. He's
which character?
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
That guy knew mobsters and Frank Sinatra.
When I was a kid, if I can tell a brief story.
Go for it.
When I was a kid, nothing made me laugh more. Like if it was on TV, it would make me laugh. If you said it randomly, it would make me laugh no matter how sad I was. Nothing made me laugh more than the scene where Woody is sleeping in the toy box and he wakes up and he's like, "Hey, where's my hat?"
Yeah.
And the shark is like, "I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy." And then I think the part that made me laugh was the next part where Woody's like, "Ah, ha, 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 give me that."
Oh, finally. Ugh. Hey, who's got my hat?
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Give me that.
God,
Still
what?
funny.
Oh my God. Night scenes. The Twilight scenes in that. No, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's a recurring theme. That wasn't even one of the movies I was referring.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing. It has a little kid watching that. Everything's so big because
Oh,
you're getting it
yeah.
from the toy's perspective.
Right.
It's almost relatable.
They nail that in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My number 7.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can go all day on that one. So sure.
So, brief backstory on my number 7.
Okay.
A preamble, not a backstory. In 2012, a movie came out produced by Michael Bay, which was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
That movie is, listen to me,
I'm looking at
horse shit.
Yes.
That movie is god awful.
Okay.
I wouldn't no fan of Ninja Turtles should watch that movie. No fan of movies should watch that movie. I can't believe Nickelodeon put their name on it. That is a awful movie. The sequel is called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. I always forget it because there's a bunch of TMNT properties and they all have different names. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows is a movie I was so excited for because I couldn't wait to shit on it. I was like, that movie looks so bad. It's doing the Spider-Man 3 thing where they've got 18 villains and the guy who plays Arrow is playing Casey Jones, which I was kind of hype about because I love Arrow and I love Stephen Amell. And I went to the theater to see it. I pretty much went opening weekend with my friend Alex to shit on this movie. And the whole movie, her and I were just quiet, silently, shocked. Because that movie is, holy shit, is it so good.
Yeah.
Somebody loves Ninja Turtles and went to the people the powers that be. And they're like, can we do whatever the fuck we want with this movie? We'll make it really good. We promise. And they were like, sure. And then they made that movie. It's every character that's in it is nailed. The tone is nailed. Besides April O'Neil, who is unfortunately still played by Megan Fox. But everybody else puts on a stellar performance. They didn't do the stupid thing they did in the first movie where the people mocapping the costumes weren't voicing the people.
Yeah.
The turtles. They were in the sequel. I believe they got Johnny Knoxville to voice Leonardo in the first one.
Oh.
The guy from Jackass.
Oh, I know.
No, just in case someone else doesn't.
No. We all know.
There was a ton of villains, like I said, but it wasn't there was a big main one. It was Super Krang, and Krang was voiced by Brad Garrett, the brother from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, okay.
And it's just so much stuff in that happens. It happens in that movie that I just it feels like I'm watching an episode of the TV show, or I could be,
Yeah.
It's just there's so much personality between the turtles that was not present in the first movie. That's really all I have to say. That the reason it's so high, I know it's number 7, but the reason it's so high on my list is because just solely based on the fact that that's a sequel. Sequels are usually bad, and that is the sequel to an awful movie, and they got it really good this time. So it's really refreshing to for that to happen. Also, something else they didn't do in the first movie that they nailed in the second movie. Movie's over, credits, theme song.
Yeah.
You always got to do that when your fucking movie's based off it. The DuckTales movie does that. Movie's over, credits, theme song. Like, don't give me the theme song up front. Give me the theme song during the credits. That's just my opinion. They do it in that movie. You're number 6, my friends.
Okay. Number 6. Here's the Holy Grail. Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade. I know you don't have much to say about this.
That
not an
is
Indiana Jones fan.
The third one?
That's the third one.
Okay, I nailed it. The one with Sean Connery.
Yes. So part of the reason I love
I've never seen
that.
this movie.
Oh, really?
No, I've only seen the first Indiana Jones a couple times. Didn't like it.
Okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the first Indiana Jones movie, this is a topic we can have off mic, like a discussion, just because I'll get into it. I want to know what you don't like about the movies.
Okay.
Or the movie, I should say. 2, if you said I watched 2, I hated it, sure. I'm not a big fan of it. People like it. There's a few things I don't like about 2.
I tried to watch 2, but I don't count me as watching it because I was sick and I fell asleep as soon as it started, so I missed the whole movie.
It's a little slow.
Well, I was bedridden because I was like home from school sick.
Honest to God, I'd watch 3. First and foremost, 007 is Indiana Jones's dad.
Yeah.
Not in canon, but how
yeah.
cool is that? They joke about that the whole movie.
Oh, cool.
Because he's just a silly old man his father was a real stubborn type, like growing up, and like you learn that Indiana Jones learned all the things he knows from his dad, and his dad's a jerk, doesn't even pay attention to him. And he's just like, you're like, but you're 007 because there's, as always, Nazis in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
An epic search for mythological artifact. Kind of the biggest one they could find. And, they succeed, and it's amazing. The whole concept at the end is they find where the first movie. They find where the Holy Grail is. And, the Nazis captured him, and they're like, well, now you're going to do it for us. And Indiana Jones, like, I'm not going to go get it. He's like, oh, bang, shot your dad, now you're going to go get it.
Oh, shit.
And it was just really cool. Indiana Jones has a love interest in that movie, and the whole movie you're like, yeah, there she is. And then she goes, I forget what she says. There's some sort of innuendo that because he saves his dad from the Nazis. That's how you get introduced to the character. And Indiana Jones's female love interest. I don't know why I said female. His love interest is one of the Nazis.
Oh, okay.
You find out. And she says some sort of innuendo. The two of them are tied up to chairs back to back. And she's like, something to the effect of, I did have fun the other night. And it was great. And they both say thanks. And it's like, oh, it's because he's 007 and he's the man. It's just a really cool movie. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, though, so it's my favorite one.
My number 6. Ooh, I don't think you've seen this one either.
Oh, that's fine.
My number 6 is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Here's the skinny. There was 3 X-Men movies. X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand. X-Men 1 was good, I guess. X-Men 2 was fine. Probably better than 1. X-Men 3 was horseshit.
Okay.
X-Men 3 does the... Oh, I almost literally said X-Men 3 does the X-Men 3 thing, because I refer to it as that. X-Men 3 does this thing I hate where Act 1 and Act 2 are like, okay, I'm ready for Act 3, and Act 3 is just a dumpster fire. And then they were like, instead of making more of that, let's go back in time. And then they have a movie called X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class was different actors playing the same characters you know and love.
Yeah.
But it's the First Class storyline. They totally do it completely differently from the comics. I did not appreciate it. It's one thing to adapt something. Like, for example, the Umbrella Academy Season 1 just dropped. A few things were changed. A few major things were changed from the comics, none of which I really minded. like, I've never read the comics, but I looked it up afterwards, and I was like, well, that's a change I don't mind. They,
Yeah.
You know, they didn't change that much. All this still happened. Not the case with the X-Men First Class movie. They changed a bunch of stuff that I'm just like, it was right fucking there. Why did you change that? Like, there's no reason to change it. All you did was piss me off, an X-Men fan.
Yeah.
The sequel to X-Men First Class is X-Men Days of Future Past. The Days of Future Past storyline of X-Men is basically Sentinels are here. They're these giant X-Men killing robots. And we are going to go back to the past and make sure that they're never invented. And what they do is they take the Hugh Jackman people, like Hugh Jackman and Halle Berry and all the adults X-Men, all of them meet up with the like students that they trained, and then Ellen Page's character uses her power to send Wolverine his thoughts back to the body of his
Younger self.
his younger self, but not really his younger self because Wolverine doesn't age. So it's
Right.
still Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is hanging out with the people from First Class. And basically the whole movie is like you're feeling the impact that First Class had, because the main villain of this movie is Mystique. Mystique was a secondary villain in the adult storyline, but a main character good guy in First Class, and she's turned because of Magneto's influence or whatever. That's basically the whole plot. The rather than like we have to make sure the Sentinels don't get made, it's turned into we have to make sure that Mystique doesn't do that fucked up thing she did that made people hate X-Men. And spoiler alert, they succeed. The movie ends and it's totally fine.
I gotta say, I love that there's been some movies where like we don't need to explain the plot to this movie, and then there's been a few where we're like, some people might not have caught these ones.
But no, it's just a good movie. They didn't have to do this, and I'm glad they did. They keep cutting back and forth between like what the people in the adult timeline are doing, like defending Wolverine's like body while he's like transformed, like ported back in time, and and between the real storyline, and like some of the major adult X-Men players have like real like lasting character deaths, like Storm. It's really good, and the interesting part about this movie is that a character we referred to earlier, his name's Quicksilver.
Yes.
He is Scarlet Witch's sister. He is an X-Men for all intents and purposes. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are Magneto's children.
Yeah.
But they never say that in Age of Ultron because Magneto's owned by Fox.
Right.
Or he was when Age of Ultron came out. Quicksilver is in Days of Future Past, played by a different guy. He looks different. They got him so much more right.
Yeah.
Quicksilver, agree with me or disagree with me, shittiest
worst
part
of
of Age
that
of Ultron,
movie, yeah.
like lastingly the worst part of that movie. They got Evan Peters to play Quicksilver, and like every scene with him is the best scene in the movie.
Oh.
In Days of Future Past.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the guy in Age
Aaron
of
Taylor
Ultron,
Johnson.
just cringy.
Yeah,
Every
oh,
single
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
And I love him in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah. He does a good job in Godzilla as well, but people don't like that movie either, so whatever. But yeah, that's it. Days of Future Past, the movie I've seen the most in theaters. I saw it 3 times. All right, you're number 6, I think, or you're number 5.
My number 5.